joining this live stream. I'm excited to be here again, and I appreciate everyone that has taken their time to schedule this time for a free time so that they can be able to join this live stream. And more importantly, I want to appreciate Mr. Ayo Oke for joining my live stream today. Mr. Ayo Oke, you're welcome. Thank you so much for joining this live.
Thank you, Mr. Pekamo. Chief Amos, good to be seeing your lovely face.
Oh, okay. So we are still waiting for viewers to populate here. Let's say when we have about 4 or 5 viewers, then we could get things running. Uh, but before then, I can remember there is one vital thing amongst the many vital things that I learned from you. You know, back then, if you remember, a couple of years ago, I asked you at one point when you're privileged to be maybe in a meeting or on the board with some elders who are entitled to having the final say or the best opinion. I was asking you, how do you make your submission? Because you have to say something. If you have something here to say, you have to present it. How do you
Mm.
say it that's not going to be too dictative and that will not look like you're not sure of what you're saying? And he told me to always say whatever I need to say respectfully, and it's gonna be okay to just start with, I think we should do it this way as a suggestion. Say it in the most humble way, and if they take it, fine. If they don't take it, then it's their loss. And that always go with me. You know, everywhere I go to, and I need to say something, but the odds are against me. Like some big eyes are looking at me. That who is this small boy? What does he want to say? Just say, I think we should look at it this way, this way, this way. Because if we try to navigate it this way, we are likely going to get this and this result. And I appreciate you for that.
Thank you. You can't go wrong with thinking. You've not made any particular statement. When you say I think, tomorrow you might say my thinking was wrong yesterday. It's not like I know, I think, I feel. Those are safe words to use. I'm telling you. In fact, it's those are very safe. It's a very safe way, and the other person doesn't feel attacked. You can always backtrack. In fact, for
Mm,
instance, instead of saying maybe to your boss, "Okay, you are treating me bad here. You are just partial." If you say that
mm,
one, you're already judgmental. You've given your word. You've given your verdict. But when you say, "I feel you are not treating
mm,
me too fine in this place," it's a feeling. So when tomorrow, because okay, that was
yeah.
how I was feeling yesterday. My head was not correct yesterday. You know that feeling yesterday.
Mm,
Maybe somebody angered you. That was why it's not. It's not the truth. It was
exactly.
just a feeling yesterday. It's a safe place to be.
You have a great point there.
Yeah.
Let me
So
cut you there for a
self-isolate.
moment. Thank you guys for joining my live stream. Everyone that are coming to join, thank you for the like. I can see you liking, and those that are joining for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to this channel to join the chat. Samuel again, again, hi. I think I'm seeing Samuel again for the first time. Please, Samuel again, do well to double tap to like this video and don't forget to subscribe. And we also have Charles Travel. Char, how are you, Char? Char, all the way from the United States of America. Char, good to see you again, and thanks for your consistent support. And we're still waiting for maybe one more person. When we have 5 viewers, then we're gonna kickstart into the topic we want to talk about today. I believe you guys have read through the publication that was sent on the post and the thumbnail design that was put up there. But today is gonna be lit because I have someone special on this side of the screen. I hope you can see him.
Thank you. If you
Greetings
see
to
I'm
you,
special.
Shara. Thank you for the like. Yeah, your unique personality. You know, I'm sure everyone is gonna listen and they're gonna catch their own witness on that because I'm not just running my words on you. It's actually the fact. Okay, Shara, I hope you had a great day. I hope the temperature is better today and not bitter. Okay, please, guys, double tap to like this video, double tap to like. Shara, thank you for the like. I know you don't miss that.
Hello.
I can hear you.
Okay, good.
All right. Okay, so that will not delay so much. We have Shar here. We have Samuel again here. Samuel again, please indicate that you're still here. And there's one other person watching in the background. It's often said that people who don't chat but are watching in the background are watching in the bushes. So thank you guys for joining once again. And I would like to introduce to you a veteran media specialist who is the person sitting here. Our guest today is Hayobami Oke. For short, you call him Hayo Oke. I'm a bit nervous having him on my panel today because he's a veteran in the industries I have been in. I met him there and I had no choice than to look up to him because he had a lot of things that I saw was a motivation for me on my journey in that industry. Ayobami has a background in computer science and is also into the media world. And he has been using the media world to make life better and to also enhance the motivation for the upcoming content creators. You know, one of the fascinating things I see Hayoke do is complexity of the diverse understanding of concepts that he has gotten all over the world where he has been to, and he tries to render them in Yoruba language. You know, he packages wisdom in Yoruba language and try to communicate to our people over here and makes it look very beautiful. You know, bringing a global fact, a global into a localized treasure. And that's very awesome, you know, thing that Hayoke does. And recently I noticed that Hayoke have been relentless about integrating artificial intelligence into producing some graphics, some photographs and stuff. For your information, guys listening, Ayobamioke is a veteran broadcaster, veteran photographer, veteran videographer, veteran producer and director. And to crown it all, he is blessed with a veteran wife in the media industry. Is that correct? Veteran wife.
Yes, now. How can two work together unless they agree? So you don't have unnecessary conflicts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, guys, make welcome on this side of of my screen. I hope YouTube is not flipping it the other way around. Make welcome Ayo Oke. Please celebrate him in the chat.
Thank
Yes, give him
you.
a warm welcome as much as you
Thank
can.
you.
And I appreciate you for being here, sir.
Thank you for having me on now. I feel privileged to be on your show. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Before we go into the topic proper, do you have any foreword you want to say?
Well, anybody that starts a YouTube channel is is someone that is thinking about the future because eventually our interaction as I mean by when it comes to when interaction is has gone beyond geographical to electronic, you know. Our neighbors in
Mm,
the past were those people that were just beside your house. It was geographical. But now our neighbors are electronic. So you can reach more people by a YouTube channel than even by having a physical church. So anybody that wants to have a voice in our generation must find a way to get online and then to get to meet people at their habitats because people are already online waiting for you to to be, I mean, to make a mark. I can't see your face again. I hope they've not taken you away. Your face
Okay,
went off.
yeah, I'm sorry. My network blipped off. I'm sorry. Please go on with your thought.
So I was saying that now, seeing that you started the YouTube channel, I said, "Ah, that's good. So if you want me to come on, I'll quickly come on. I've known you for years too. I've known what you stood for because it also, I'd always admired your big, large afro. Looks like you reduced a little. I don't know whether
It's
it's
reduced
about
a bit.
excellence. Is it excellence? Is it because of
Yeah.
excellence or the other word that you said it to reduce your afro?
Life
Because I know.
is a reflection of how life is full of how ups and downs, highs and lows. So this is the low time.
Okay, so I just wanted to be sure because it takes the kind of afro you were wearing back then. You needed some good finance to keep it going. So I was like, what's happening to Amos now? Why is he bringing his afro down? Well, I'm just pulling your legs. So I'm happy to be here, and I'm sure we're going to have a good time.
Thank you so much. And while Ayoke was speaking, Precious stepped into the chat. Precious, I hope you are still here. Presh, thank you for joining all the way from the US. Thank you so much. And I can assure you that you're going to have a very swell time here today. All right, the topic we are considering today is effecting excellence, against the odds of lack. Effecting excellence against the odds of lack. So, one would think about excellence, but it's not far fetched. Excellence is doing things in the best way possible. Best way achievable, best way realizable, in simple terms. I know that some people have some more complex definitions of that, but I think in plain terms that captures it. And I think the bigger word there, apart from excellence, is lack, which is when you don't have something that you need. And also, when we look at the whole sentence as a whole, effecting excellence against the horde of lack. So now, lack brings a horde, making it difficult for you to have the things you need to do some certain things, not to now say to do them in the best way possible. But now we are looking at picking the mind of Ayoke to help us understand, is excellence realizable? Let's forget about lack in the first place. Is excellence realizable? And what do you define excellence as?
For me, excellence is number one, it's a lifestyle that you put in the
Mm,
best. You have you have standards. Let me use that word. Excellence has to do with standards, very high standard that you've set for yourself or your
mm,
organization that you are meeting up with, irrespective of difficulties. So it's not something that happens just
mm.
once. It's a culture. Now I'm trying to juxtapose it with lack. Let me give. Can the two of them exist on the same? I mean, can they coexist? Maybe I'm jumping a little.
Let's see how you do
If
that.
the best students in your class when you were in secondary school, let's call that guy the excellent guy that
Mm.
scored excellent AAA in everything. Most likely wasn't the one with the
Okay.
richest parents. I'm sure. He was most likely wasn't the guy with the richest parents.
Mm,
So,
mm.
in fact, you may be surprised
Get
that
the point
he
there.
may be he may be the guy with the poor parents.
Mm,
So the guy has set standards for him in spite of the lack. He might not have textbooks. He might not have.
mm,
He might even struggle to pay the exam fees. But then when they are talking
mm,
about excellent students, is the one that he has standards that he has stuck with, and he has paid the price and the sacrifice. The best teachers that you've ever
mm,
encountered, they're not the ones with the biggest cars most of the time. And then you discover that look, even the best designers, the guy might have a broken down laptop. You might be surprised. I mean, he's not the guy that
wow,
has.
that's true. That's a fact.
He's not the guy with the latest MacBook or iMac or the best gadgets that gets the best done a lot of times. So a lot of times the excellence
Mm,
goes beyond even availability of resources. And when you stick to that if you stick to excellence, you'll be surprised that it navigates a path from that your lack to plenty. So maybe I'm jumping the gun.
mm,
I don't know. See, excellence is just you have standards that you are there with, and it's not something you do once or twice. It's just your lifestyle. Dotting the T's,
mm,
dotting the I's, crossing the T's. This one does not match my standard or our standard as an organization, and you stick to it, and you have that brand.
mm.
That's what I think excellence is. You are not cutting corners. You are not saying, "Look, this is good enough. Look, let's just push it out there like that." Like the Yorubas will say, "Oh, but
Mm,
you know, that's a lot of times that's our mentality as a people. Look, as far as African guys are concerned, though, this is good enough for Africa. You take your car to the mechanic, for instance.
yeah.
You take your let me give you those instances. You take your car to the mechanic, for instance, to repair. He sees 6 knots.
Mama Y is welcome.
He sees 6 knots there, 6 knots or 6 screws. And he says, ah, four can hold it enough. What are we doing with six? And he decides to leave four there. You know that has nothing to do with luck. It's just because he says, look,
That's true.
this excellence is excessive. I mean, excellence is going that it's excessive. It's you going that extra length, extra mile that every other person would not. Because when you're talking about
Mm,
excellence, a lot of times it could be relative. You understand? So if people are doing it up to this level, you go higher than what they're doing, then you'll be considered excellent amongst your
mm.
contemporaries. That's the way I want to say it. I hope I'm in order.
Thank you very much. You raised a very germane point in one of the things we're going to be discussing today, and I appreciate you for going that lane to help us see the background of what we'll be looking at today. While we were talking, Raphael Wise, I think that's Mama Wise, joined the live stream. Mama Wise from Port Harcourt, Nigeria. Hello, Mama Wise. How are you doing? Thank you for joining the live stream. And those of you that are watching and don't intend joining the chat, it doesn't hurt. Just drop a comment. Let's know where you're watching from so we will know that you're here. Precious, thank you for joining. Fresh. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. All right. Are you okay? I've been privileged to, be in some certain spaces where you have been valued, and I discovered something have been cogent. I discovered that whenever they want to do a cheap, wishy-washy job, they don't call Ayo Oke. So to set the context straight, Ayo Oke does graphics design of international repute. Ayo Oke does photography. When you need a portraiture of someone significant and you want the details of every pixel in the frame to represent exactly what you want it to. He brings his photo camera with different lenses, and use the configuration that suits what's going to freeze the frame to give the best of that memory. Ayoke is good with videography. Is a good video producer. He captures frames and interlays it, overlays it with audio, and his pictures are superb. It doesn't settle for less. Ayoke makes publications too, especially graphical publications, programs, almanacs, journals, award plaques, and things like that. So now, Ayoke, I discovered that when some places where I've been privileged to be that I know they need your service, when they want to do something wishy washy, they don't call Ayoke. They will say, we don't have a budget for that. Let's just do something. Let's just push it. They give it to you, okay. He can be willing to do it for you. No, 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 no. He doesn't settle for less. And whenever they want to do something presidential, something transcontinental, they call Hayoke. I don't want any other person. Call me Hayoke. What is your motivation for excellence? Because these people have recognized that you are not going to settle for less. They've understood that they don't have to supervise your work. They just have to tell you what they need, and you will bring the best possible formats or insight or inspiration of that thing. And anywhere they take it to in the world, it stands tall. What is your motivation, your inspiration
Mm.
towards insisting on excellence all the time?
Now, this is the first thing I want us to understand. For me, You see, when God made the heaven and earth, maybe I'm religious. See, he could have said, let there be 6,000, 6 million, 6 billion people. I think we have about 6 billion now, as they say. He didn't have to create two people, isn't it? He could have said, look,
Mm,
New York, appear. And New York would have shown up, isn't it? Said, Nigeria,
mm,
show up. He could have done it in those 6 days. But no, he said, look, he just created two people and he gave them what? Give them work. Now you are co-creators with me now, isn't it? So he expects
mm,
us to create our world within. So we're like ambassadors of God as far as creation is concerned. And so when God gives us work, it's not a curse. It's a means of expression of being co-creators with God in what He has in His eternal plan. So when we see it as such that
mm,
look, you have this is a divine thing you are doing. One. Then number two, that becomes your signature after a while. It becomes your work becomes your
mm.
signature. So when they see,
Right.
in fact, when they see it becomes your signature. It becomes what makes you even your dignity as a person. So if you do
Mm,
wishy-washy job, after a while they know you with wishy-washy job. Now say, that was a mistake.
mm,
So you want to stick to excellence. You want to stick to what you can actually affix your signature on. That when your child sees it 10 years, I say, Washet, let me use it. Right. See the job your father did, that's your father's work. You want to be proud of it. So
mm.
like this, a lot of these jobs outlive you. They go to places where you would never get
Wow.
to.
True.
And then
True.
people form impressions about you even before they ever meet you. So once that thing gets out, you can't call it back and say, I did it under, they didn't pay me enough money, blah, blah. It's your signature. This is who you are. This is
Mm,
what you produce. Especially for men. You see, your work is, a lot of times, is your life. You spend more time working
mm,
than sleeping or doing any other thing. So that means this is what you've lived for. So how well have you done it? That is my own creed. And that's what I try to do when it comes to every project or every work that has to do with creativity. So have I put in my best? Does this
mm,
represent the best I can give at this point under all these constraints? Does this
mm,
represent the best I can do? So at times some clients come, okay, I don't have money for this. Look, this is the minimum I would go for. If you can't do it, maybe you should scale it down and don't. Let me give you an instance. Somebody says, I want to buy, it's an SUV I want to buy by all means. I know because I can see
mhm.
a car behind you. And then he says, an SUV, an SUV, a good SUV will cost you this much. I says, no, I don't have that much. Well, I don't manufacture SUV. So even if I want to give it to you, I can't give it to you for free. Have you considered getting
Mhm.
maybe just a sedan
Sedan.
that is
Yep.
good. I will serve. He says, no, it's SUV. I want. And look, I can't work magic. So it's better. And then if I give you an
Mm,
SUV now with two wheels or with three wheels, they'll say is see the car that this guy gave this guy. You won't be there to be saying that, look, he paid me just the money for a sedan and I gave him an SUV with three legs. No, it doesn't just, those things don't tie together. So as far as I'm concerned, when it gets to situations like that, can we scale it down? Maybe you should go do Okada with this your money. But I don't even supply
mm.
Okada. So this is not my project. I know somebody that supplies Okada. Why not? Why not talk to him? He will give you an Okada. This is
You're
the kind
making a
of
good
stuff I
point.
do. Yeah, this is the stuff I specialize in. And there's no way I can execute this with the kind of money you are putting on the table. So so that we
Mhm.
don't mess each other up, it's better I don't handle this project for you. I don't
Yeah.
want to mess myself up. Because I won't be there to be telling people that look, they paid half the budget. And my father used to say something
Yeah.
when I was small. I'll say it in Yoruba, then I'll interpret it into English. Wọ́n ló yàgbẹ́ òònùdí. Èèyàn mélòó ló fẹ́ máa fìdí ẹ̀ hàn kiri pé wọ́n parọ́ mọ́ ẹni? That is, they said you went to the toilet, you used the toilet, but you didn't clean up. Even if it's a lie, how many people can you be showing your boss say, it's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie, that wasn't true, that wasn't true, this wasn't true.
How do you
No,
show
it's
the
true.
receipt?
Yeah. So how many people do you want to be telling? No, it's a lie. I think it wasn't like that. So you don't have the benefit of telling them stories or giving them excuses. It's better you avoid anything that messes up your brand right from the upfront. Okay.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, it's from my hand. I'm sorry. I apologize. My excellence is a bit lacking here. I apologize.
Making the most of what you have, man. That's it. Within the limits.
Yeah, while you were talking, Mikavelli 60 came in. Thank you, Mikavelli. Here on the other side of the screen, we have Ayo Oke. And his last thoughts to us before this break, before I interrupted him or before the network interrupted, was he was making us understand that whatever you're doing, make sure you do it well because it's going to outlive you. And in another sense, it stands to become your signature. That will be what you'll be identified with. So you don't want to do something you don't want to be identified with. So if you see it as your signature, you do it well because with time, people don't describe you by your name, they describe you by what you do. This is how it does it. You want the perfect job? Meet Ayo Oke. And I think you guys are extracting that from him. Thank you guys for joining. Please, if you have questions for Ayo Oke, please drop it in the chat and at the right time we're going to read them out, for him to help us weigh in on them. All right, Ayo Oke. No doubt, I know you so well. I've seen a lot of your work from afar and from close proximity. I've been to your office. I've seen your work ethic. You are very strategic in the way you carry out your work. Whether you're working alone or you're working with a team of people, you have this knack for excellence and it's non-negotiable. And I've seen situations where you had to command a job to be redone because irrespective of how much it's going to cost you, you wanted that touch of excellence to really be there, just like the Midas representation. So how are you able to afford this level of excellence? Now, I understand the mind of excellence. I understand that it starts from the mind, the determination to be excellent at what you do. But we also know that excellence is not engineered by the mind alone. You need accessories, ancillary equipment, you need staffing, you need some sourced or outsourced vendors, you need collaboration. How were you able to afford excellence? Let's go directly to you first because over here in this part of the world, everybody wants to work with Hayobami. Okay, how were you able to get that level of excellence? Was it handed to you? Did you inherit it, or how?
No, I think I've been lucky to have, because we are all a product, maybe this is philosophically, we are all a product of nature and nurture. There's some things that you're born with that you're just created like that. You have a temperament, you have an intelligence, you have a family. I mean, you
Fifi, thanks
have,
for joining.
I was saying that, look, we're a product of nature and nurture. That is, when you were born, there's some things you didn't pick up, you didn't choose. What's your
Mm-hmm.
intelligence quotient for one? What's your, some things are just innate that you're given. You didn't choose those things.
Mm-hmm.
The rest, to a large extent, is a function of societal programming. What, how have you been taught?
Mm,
Who are those that you've met with? How did you come along with what you consider your basic convictions for living? Who have you been opportune to meet
mm-hmm.
with? So for me, I think I've been blessed to maybe my nature for one. That one, there's some things that it's not everybody that sees colors. Let me give for instance, some people will have to put in more. There's some people will have to put in more effort to get some things done than some other people. We're not equally gifted because let me give
Mm,
an illustration. When I was in secondary school, there was a guy. He was the hardest working human being in that school in our set. He could read 14 hours a day. He wasn't the best in his class.
wow.
He wasn't the best in his class as far as results was concerned. He was somewhere there. You know
Mm,
what he told us? He said that if he didn't read that much, he'll be the last person in the class. He'll be coming last. So he already knew to make
mm,
up for hard work with hard work for the things that he knew that he
mm,
lacked. Now, for someone like me, if
mm,
you work with me in secondary school, you will fail because I have a gift. That's the truth. I had I have a gift for memory, one, and then I have a gift for, I mean, I have to just read it once. So if you try to say, are you is not reading, you are not reading, you naturally feel. That's what I'm just trying to say, that look, there's a nature that is a part of it. And also this, you could be blessed to now to meet with people that will help your journey. At some point in my life, I was opportune to work with an uncle that was a stickler. I'd always known since I was young, was a stickler for what we call excellence. So I think that I
Mm.
learned a lot from him. While I was growing up,
Wow.
that's my uncle. You tell my uncle, say, I want you to buy me a pair of shoes. You'll be stupid trying to describe the shoes to him, because 100 times out of 100 times, he's going to bring you the perfect, excellent pair of shoes. You wanted to buy a Walkman, you know Walkman now. This is, I put cassette in that time.
Yeah, yeah. The tape.
You tell him,
Yeah.
say, please, I want a Walkman. And you're now saying, okay, I want it to be this brand. I want it to be auto reverse. I want it to have bass. You're just wasting your time. When he comes and gives you the
Mm.
Walkman that he himself will buy, you know, it will beat even the
You
specs
know,
you
it's the
wanted to give
best.
him. So for
Mm.
him, I saw that was a lifestyle. So while I worked with him, he punched me up and down, up, up. So that helped me out. That helped me. Now in the in the journey of how do you now, what I think the question you're asking is, look, how do you now put together the resources in terms of maybe equipment to make excellence possible?
Exactly.
Like we've
Exactly.
earlier established, if you remember, excellence is beyond equipment. Excellence
Mm.
is first standards.
I like you to emphasize on that part. Yeah, emphasize on that
Ex-
part. Give that illustration.
Excellence is beyond equipment. It's setting standards
Mm.
first and adhering to those standards. You see, you are doing,
Setting standards and adhering to those standards.
even when it hurts, when it's not convenient.
Mm.
These are
Okay.
standards, and we're not going to cut down on this standard, and we're going to deliver
If he's saying
irrespective of
that
the,
you should explain, so explain that.
which, okay, that's, you don't cut. Let
Setting
me give an
standards
instance.
and adhering to standards even when the
Let,
odds are
let,
against you.
let, let me give an instance. Uh, I've given a quote for a job, for instance, and now these folks have not, maybe my plan was that I was going to make, let me say, 200,000 naira profit on this job. Do you understand that, from the quotes which I've built into it?
Yeah.
Now, I now get to the press and I now saw that, maybe I underbuilt for something that would, let me say, that would make this
Mm.
job better. I said, that's my
Mm.
profit, don't touch it. This one too is good enough. Truly, it might be good enough, but it might not be excellent. Just good. You know, good enough is different from excellent. Now, okay, if you have to put this
Exactly.
extra, okay, the man, or maybe I get there, maybe I didn't even quote for it. Now get there, say, look, if we put this, it's going to make this job come out better. But you know, your client is not ready to commit extra on this. I think, okay, look, this helps my
Mm.
brand. This makes my job look more presentable. This will speak better for me. I may not make that money today from this job. Am I ready to sacrifice that?
Mm.
What should have been my profit to make this job excellent? So
Mm-hmm.
those are the kind of things I'm talking about. Now, when I'm even talking about equipment, a good photographer, for instance, let me use photography as a basis. Will shoot
All right.
a good photo. And when I'm talking about a good photographer, someone that has taken time to train himself, that has taken time to pay the price in terms of
Mm-hmm.
how many hours have you put in into training yourself to get into a part. In fact, when it comes to photography, for instance, at some point, some folks say, Ayo, how did you take that shot? I say, myself, I don't know. And you know why? It's
Are you sure
because,
you don't know?
no, I'm able to explain. Let me tell you what I'm saying. It gets to a point that it becomes reflexive. It's just reflexes. You've done this thing
True.
so many
True.
times that even before you shoot it,
True.
your body just shoots it. Your body just does that. You've done it at that particular instant.
True.
There's something inside you that has lined all those things up, and just the thing just comes without just know you've done a prep. So now trying to explain that,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you wait for that man to get there. You may be able to explain it, but it won't, the person that wants to learn, you might not be able to do it exactly as you've done it until it's paid that number of hours in practice.
You're right.
He might know how you did it, but he won't get to that level of excellence or perfection until he's paid the price in practice. So somebody now comes and takes
mm,
he has a multi-million naira equipment. You have your regular equipment. You don't have to feel intimidated. A lot of folks get intimidated when somebody. A lot of times in our climb here, the equipment is a facade for, for many times. I'm not saying all the time. A lot of times, somebody has not paid attention. He
mm,
just has money somewhere, or and in our climb too here, money flies around at times. Money that has missed roads. This is okay. I now want to do photography, or I want to set up a press, or I want to set up a tech hub or whatever, and they have money to throw around, and you see people,
mm,
and those things. A lot of times they're just like a flash in the pan, and after a while,
mm,
they just die. So we must be ready to pay the price. That is one. And then you were talking about how, like for me, in practical terms, I have some equipment, but I won't say I have the best of equipment in this part of the world. Even because if you start that equipment race, you will never arrive.
you can't finish it. Yeah.
You can't arrive. Once you start the equipment race,
Mm-hmm.
even for folks that are buying phones, if you buy Samsung S26 today
Yeah.
and you plug it to charge, while you are waiting for it to charge, your phone S27 is out. So you can't win it, or you can't win the equipment race. But once you have
Mm,
the basic equipment at least that you can use to express yourself, the rest is not how do you pack yourself so full of value, so much so that your 30 minutes, because value makes your time more effective. If you are full of value, you've read enough.
mm,
That's true. So instead of using one
mm,
hour to do something you just do it in 20 minutes or 10 minutes. When you leverage on maybe the right knowledge in technology, you are saying I'm crazy about AI now.
mm-hmm.
That's the future. It's going to replace a lot of us, and we know it. So if I don't put my nose on what I'm telling you, so it's going to replace equipment.
You
The
don't have to
equipment
be
we are talking
replaced.
about is replacing equipment. It
True.
will replace human beings. Will replace so who am I now to say I don't want to learn it now? While it still looks like it's still a novel thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I imagine in 5 years'
Mm-hmm.
time, maybe it's two these ones that we're sitting together, we're talking, maybe it's machines that will be doing it. And people will be, I'll be watching it. They'll be conversing. So excellence is also uh, mental excellence. That is the real excellence.
Mm,
Mental
mm,
excellence. Now you have to question your own thinking. The real thinking itself is not, it's about you now questioning the way I'm thinking. Am I thinking right? I mean, being reflexive.
mm,
Because that is where all the excellence you're talking about that you are seeing manifest in physical things you're seeing, whatever you're doing starts from
mm,
inside here. So if it's not here, you can't assimilate it from it just doesn't come. You can't give what you don't have. So we have
mm.
to work on what do you see, how do you see it, and then what are you doing with it. So I just think we should find a way to move on the inside, to make progress on the inside. And then once there's progress on the inside, there's no way to show on the outside when it comes to excellence.
Thank you very much for that. You've been able to help us see that, uh, especially the last point you made, that excellence is mental. And you also said we should go out of our way to ensure that we give excellence, even if it's going to cost us more. Okay. Um, Before I go on to the next thing, I want to acknowledge the presence of Ify. Ify's Insights joined us when Ayoke was talking. Thank you, Ify. How are you? Thank you so much for joining. And I saw at a point someone was dropping the bouquet. Thank you for dropping the bouquet. And Raphael says, yes, you can't give what you don't have. That's true. And I think that's coming from the mental excellence Ayoke was talking about. And if he insight is saying we just need to find a way to use AI to do her work. Thank you so much, Ify, for that. Yeah, very true. We need to find a way to use AI to do our work. And just like Ayoke said, many of us are going to be replaced. And if you don't want to be replaced, like, during the race of the transit from, parcel and letter deliveries, Naples lost the race, right? UPS, they joined the new, bandwagon of what's obtainable for the future. DHL, FedEx, all of them, they metamorphosed, but Naples was still selling stamps, and now they lost the race. So, like you rightly said, if you don't want to be replaced, if you want to be relevant, latch on to the new tools, and not just AI now, every other new tools that's going to make your work easy, that's going to help you actualize excellence easily. Please invest in them and be an expert in them. If you said AI should not replace me, oh, that's if you watching from Abuja. Oh, we have Kumari Babosa from USA, Maryland, USA. Kumari, how are you doing? Good to see you here. Here on this side of my screen, you have my guest, Ayo Oke, and he's been telling us how to effect excellence against the odds of lack. And now that brings me to this. When we're talking, while I was intimating you with this information that I need you to come to my panel, and you were gracious enough to oblige, which I still appreciate you for, you mentioned some certain cogent points that there are some certain things that we don't pay attention to that can, discredit or deplete whatever form of excellence we are launching to reach out to get. And when we don't pay attention to those little details, it changes the level of excellence we'll attain in the delivery that we'll be doing. And it doesn't have to do with money. Like, you made some illustration. So if you remember, can you emphasize on that part? Because I remember that I I had condemned some work before. I was privileged back in the days to be in charge of a construction project, and I took it off from some people, and I had to tell them, don't tell me this is lack of money that made the columns to become like a flare, tiny at the base, wide at the top. That's not money. That's supervision. That's excellence of the mind. That's oversight that was missing. So the people's mind could not conceive it. In fact, you use more concrete than you're supposed to use, but because you didn't have that mind. I want you to emphasize on that point, because when you said it, it gave me a nostalgia of that feeling I had during that construction supervisory role.
Yeah, is there's some they used to say, you see, the devil is in the details. Devil, the devil is in the
Devil.
details. Yes, that is where the real
And
work is. Now, you see, the devil itself is figurative. That's the real work in a lot of projects is in the details. And
mm,
I'm going to give, let me give, I'm not sure whether this is the instruction I gave you. The difference in when you put up a product, let's say let's even use a car for instance, because I know you're a car person. The cost of building a car to the level at which it moves is moving around without AC.
mm,
For instance, let's assume is let me say is 20. Let's assume is 10 million naira. For instance, just production cost. This is hypothetical.
okay.
Let's assume at producing at 10 million naira, let's assume you can sell it for 30 million naira. You can produce it for 10 million, sell it for 30 million. This car is moving, it's okay. By the time you put air conditioner into it, the air conditioner is, let's assume it costs 2 million extra to put air conditioner into that car, making it 12 million.
Mm,
It is not 32 million that they're going to sell that car. They say this one with air conditioner is 40 million naira.
mm,
It's those tiny add-ons that actually separate the people of excellence from the from mediocrity. It's those tiny,
mm-hmm,
tiny extra details, extra finer details that make some things to be considered classy, while some other things are considered trash. Many times the things that are considered trash, it's not like
mm,
they're not doing the basic work. Like the pillar you are
mm,
talking about, most likely will carry the weight. It's just that extra, can't you see that this thing is not straight? A lot of times it does, it gets the
mm-hmm,
basic job done most of the times. or you'd say you've done a for your video now, you've done a video production. They can see the film, can't they see the film? It's those final the storyline will be there. But those finer details,
Exactly.
okay, now look at see the
Mm,
color grading. Can you see the lens work? Can you see
mm.
the camera movement? Oh, this
Transition.
rising traditions. So those are the things that they're now calling the excellent. That's where the excellent part of it is. Most of the times, but the problem is that a lot of us we stop at that mediocre level. This one is good enough to pass. But the guys that charge premium,
Mm,
when they say premium, the premium itself a lot of times not so much of extra money or extra money above the base level. It's just that those as at that extra level that real value actually lies. Because the average majority can deliver at that level of the ordinary. Now, the
mm.
extraordinary, that extra on top of the ordinary, is where a lot of people falter. You know, when they say it's extraordinary, the extraordinary is the
Yeah,
extra on top of the ordinary. So,
exactly.
is at that extra point that a lot of us falter. Can I go this extra length? Can I do this extra?
Exactly.
Can I put this little more? Can I put this little more? Can I put this extra? Can I screw this thing better? Can I clean this glass better? It's that little extras that a lot of people falter. So it's the little things, the
Mm,
little extra details. In fact, that is where when they're talking about excellence, that is where it lies. The excellent student, the average student says, I see not that now, see it's good enough. At least more pass.
mm-hmm.
Another student says, at least I passed. Another student says, I'm looking
Yeah,
from a
you
student
passed.
perspective. Another student says, look, okay, me, I just want 70 A, 70 on the dot. That's his own level of excellence.
Mm-hmm. That's still
But there are
here.
some other students in the class
Distinctions.
that they call those ones they call Efiko. Say, look, if I miss one, if I score 99, I'm crying. I must score 100.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is where the difference lies. An average one of them, the guy that scored a C, is is not like he has failed, but he's not an excellent person.
Mm-hmm.
So excellence is beyond just passing. It's you putting that little extra, those little, and that little accumulates. And the more you do it consistently, the
Mm,
more it becomes a reflexive thing for you, and it becomes a culture. People are taking notes. They are writing your,
mm,
they're writing your, they're writing your, what's it, evaluation notes. They're evaluating you while
mm-hmm.
you are not.
Oh, thank you. This is very incisive. Kumari Babosa, thank you. Good to see you too. Thank you for joining. And you guys are still watching in the bushes in the background. Please drop a chat. Let's know where you're watching from. And don't forget to double tap to like this. Thank you very much. Mama Wise says, yes, the extra is what makes the difference. Thank you so much, Mama Wise. You are spot on with that. The extra is what makes the difference. And like Ayoke said, the extraordinary is an ordinary with an extra on top. So when everybody chooses to go ordinary, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay being ordinary. Someone stands extraordinarily, adding an extra on top of his ordinary. And thank you for that point, Hayoke. You know, when you were talking, you made me really see that excellence starts from the hunger part. Like you have to be hungry for excellence before you would make a decision to make what you're hungry for a standard. And it's at that point that you now, garner all of the strength and will to ensure that you see through that hunger that you've made into a standard, now a standard, making it into a product, nothing less. Okay, now I remember, even though I'd been having this universal mindset growing up, I've always tried to do things to the best way possible. I never want to settle for less to the best of my knowledge. But I remember over a decade ago, I was in the university then. And for the first time, I had a need to go to Ikeja City Mall in Lagos. And I went to fix my phone, my Samsung phone. It had problem under warranty, so I had to, navigate Samsung office. And while I was waiting for the office to open, I was just touring around, taking a walk around the Ikeja City Mall, very gigantic mall. And by the time I spent the first 10 minutes walking about, I started dropping some, waterworks from my eyes because I was seeing details I've never seen in my life before. Details in construction, details in building, you know, the finesse in the glazing, the glass work, the marble work, the tiling, the wall, the partitioning, the roofing, the ceiling, the floor, the concrete, the sensory, the sensitivity of the glass doors that opens on their accord. And I was like, the only closest to that I've ever seen was in CAD, computer aided design. When you do 3D works and they look in, better than reality, right? And I was seeing things look like it dropped from heaven. And I was crying literally. Now, to that point of hunger, I I was inspired by what I saw that day, and it made me resolve that I was not from Mars or Jupiter for insisting on the best possible. And I left that place after wiping my eyes. I left that place determined that anything I want to do, I'm not accepting anything lesser than the best. I'm insisting on the best achievable because I saw it here. It is possible. So
In
it's not
Africa,
a new thing in the world.
Nigeria, in Lagos.
Yeah, you know, it is not a strange thing. They brought it here. I saw it. How do you think it's going to be possible? You mentioned about there are some things that are embedded in us. They are innate, and there are some things that you have to inculcate. You have to, bring yourself to or bring towards yourself. How do you expand that hunger? Because I think the depth of your hunger will determine how much you will reach out to satisfy it, and which will in turn, determine the level of excellence you give out. How do you create that depth of hunger?
The first thing is exposure. You were lucky to be exposed because I would say it wasn't like you looked for it, it just met you in the face. And there's something inside of you that could identify with what you saw, that could yearn for it because you're not the first person that would see those
Mm,
things. So people just see that it means nothing to
mhm,
them. So people that it could have meant something to, they might not get to see it. So it's at that intersection of
mm,
the person that it means something to having the opportunity of saying it. So for me,
mhm,
it's always good to educate our minds. The first thing is what do you see and how are you saying it?
mm.
In practical terms, when I'm driving across the town, because I design billboards too, I'm on the lookout for good designs. I'm on the lookout for good
Mm.
billboards. I'm watching people, and I'm also not learning just from the good billboards. I'm also learning from the bad ones because
That part.
true excellence is also knowing don't go in this direction. This is a bad direction. So
True. True.
so I'm learning from the. This is just an example. I'm learning from the good designs, and I'm also learning from the bad designs because now I keep
Mm,
my eyes open. Okay, what has this person done? What do I like about this? What do I like about this? And look at maybe books or prints, for instance. I deliberately look far and wide. This I can adopt this. I can adopt
mm,
this. Don't adopt. Don't try this.
mm,
Don't try this. Is it that they're not thinking here? So
mhm.
I'm observing. We have to open up our minds. And there's something someone said. You see, your mind is a door. Hmm? And a door that is permanently locked and the one that is permanently open, the two of them are equally useless.
Please come again.
You see, your mind is supposed to be a door. So a door, any door that you see that is permanently locked is a useless door. It should have been a wall.
Mm.
The one that is permanently opened is also equally useless. The door should have just removed everything. It's not a door. So your mind should be something that look.
A true door is one that sieves what it takes in and what it sieves out.
Mm-hmm.
So in our quest for excellence, we deliberately
Mm.
sieve out, okay, this one I have to adopt it. This one, no. This one. So we're sieving back and forth. So when I'm working, what are the
Wow.
and then there's something else. You see, you have your standards that you're adhering with to, but in the true sense of things, there's nothing that is like 100% new on this earth. The
True.
more that you can see to mix together, the better your projects and your work is a lot of times. If you've been,
Mm.
let me give an instance. A musical artist that has listened to more music, various kinds, and is exposed his mind to various kinds of music, most likely be better than one that just listens to only one artist.
Mm. Mm.
So the more that you can take in and then have your mind work on, it's always better. So travel could be one of it. You're not people that travel around that have that kind of exposure because the more you are talking about is because you travel that you're able to see it. Let's assume you're somewhere inside the bush. You don't even know that those standards exist anyway. When
Mm-hmm.
you are setting standards for yourself, it's standards that you know that
Mm.
they exist, that you are setting for yourself. If it has never crossed your mind that this is how they do a beam and all the beams you've seen, they've gone like this. When you do want something that is like you are feeling high, you are
Mm-hmm.
feeling yourself. See what I've done. Only me. I'm super. Nobody like me. And where you are, they're also saying nobody like him was nobody like him was. It's just good. So the more we move around and we're able
Mm-hmm.
to have experiences, to see things, to see how others are doing things, especially if we go in the positive direction, the better it is for us. It makes us to set higher and higher standards for ourselves to match up with what is currently available. Then we can take it a notch higher. Is it possible to beat what these people are doing? But if it can't sit in the first instance, you have nothing to do.
Mm.
If you've
That
never
part.
seen it, if it has never crossed your mind, you have nothing. It also boils if at times where you stay, for instance, if you are the only one that has a let me look at this is just illustrative. The area where you stay, all they ride there is bikes, small bikes, they don't have money. When you get to that place and you have a Toyota Corolla, they'll make you the king now. You'll be the chairman of a landlord association.
Mm-hmm.
And you may think this is the best
You're
that is
right.
available. Nobody like me. It's when you
Mm.
get to other places where the average car they're driving there is maybe it's a Range Rover. Then you know, ilé ayé tún jù báyìí lọ. I mean, there's more to this thing.
There's more to life. Yeah.
Yeah. But then once you have a mind that is open to learn and you're also ready to move up your standards, because these standards should not be static.
Mm.
Yes, you want to put in your best. That is the basic standard, which is your heart. Okay, I want to put in my best. But that best at delivery point will be moving up. I mean, at the point of delivery, will be moving up. What is the industry standard? What is available? Which technology is available now? Because I want to put in my best in 1990 at video production. You put in your best, this is what you're delivering, isn't it? If you have that
Mm-hmm.
mindset now, you want to put in the best, your delivery should not be at 1990 level.
You're right.
The inside decision is constant. Okay, the best. Is this the best we can deliver? But what you'll be churning out will be on the increasing level as the world moves on, as the world progresses. Whatever you are churning out will not be at the level of yesterday. That's the way I want to say it.
The way you put it, my takeaway from it is when you we should make our mind be like a door where we sift out or sieve out whatever we want to come in and whatever we want to leave out. So when we see things that are extraordinary, we take them in. I want to do that. I want to do that. And at the point, you might think of surpassing it. And when you also feed your eyes with things that are not good enough, then you leave it out that, okay, that part, okay, but not me. I'm not doing that. And I really appreciate that illustration about, you know, creating a door, which is your mind, to be able to recognize what is good and what is not good. And it reminds me, one of the first things I learned when I was into, creative thinking and graphic design is that to be creative, all you have to do is copy creative minds. That's all. To be
Yeah.
creative, copy creative minds. You know, there's no monopoly of creativity. Nobody brought it from heaven. We came here and explored
Mm.
everything available here. And, like Ayoke said, you look out for the aspects you want to be creative and excellent, and you keep adding to yourself. You keep saying, okay, who are the best people in this field? What have they been doing? Okay, let me consume their work. Let me see their work. Let me see the details in their work. And that's where you'll be able to see how you can set a standard for your own work. And when others will see, they will say, it looks like this number one guy in the country. It looks like this number one guy in the continent. And that's very, very important. And Mama Wise has transformed from Raphael Wise to Billy Wise, and she also emphasized on exposure. Thank you for that, Mama Wise. And she also transformed back to Raphael Wise, or probably she's watching us with two phones to give us more support. She said, a fixed mindset is faulty. Bam! That throws the gavel on the table that a fixed mindset is faulty. So, just like Hayoke said, that means that with a fixed mindset, you make the door into a wall. You're not taking in anything. You're
Mm.
just there. You sealed off all you've known as the best. And that is very true. Just like Hayoke said, a door that doesn't open, that is fully closed, is useless as a door, is useful as a wall. So they could have made it a wall and not a door. And a door that is always fixed in a open position is just as good as an entrance, as a road. It's not good as a door too. So you have to be able to make your mind like a door, and like Bill Billy Wise is saying, that you have to make sure that your mind is able to see the good and the bad and decide on the good, to be able to see the good and the best and decide on retaining the best, because the best is the only thing in this description that is similitude of excellence. All right, having said this, um you have really spoken well, and I'm sure a lot of people of things. They are in the labor market, given their skills, they're having a career path where they're employed to do some service deliveries. Is excellence nothing of their concern? Like, can they also be excellent?
Ah,
If
you
yes,
see,
how can they be excellent?
I'll be, you see, everybody's number one, everybody's in the creative industry. Everybody. You see, the
Mm.
best of your teachers in secondary school, they're the creative teachers that they found creative ways of teaching people. People bring in
Mm.
some, yeah, there's,
You're right.
so everybody is in some sort of creative. In fact, the more creative in what you are, in whatever you are doing, the more success. And when I'm talking about creativity, it doesn't have to be not have to do with colors. Creativity is just a
Mm-hmm.
better way of doing things, in a sense. A more,
Mm.
maybe putting into some thinking into what you're doing. Not that you are just observing rules and just falling back. So that's
Mm.
so. And then the person that let me say, a worker that gets to work to time is being excellent, isn't it? The one that
Mm-hmm.
does, I mean, that delivers on assignment or projects or deadlines is being excellent, isn't it? So those are yardsticks.
Yeah.
Those are yardsticks for excellence. So it's not about people are like, it's how well do you do the things that you're supposed to do. Now, this is I'll pull something from the Bible. The Bible talks about that on the last day when he was giving rewards, he says, "Thou good and faithful servant," isn't it?
I'm faithful.
So it means that you
Yep.
can be good and not faithful. You can be
Exactly.
faithful are not good. Hmm? So excellence is you being good and faithful at the same time. Let me give an illustration. A good accountant is the one that will balance the books, will come to time, will just deliver excel, I will deliver to specs. Oh, I think our time is up. But let me just finish up. Whereas a faithful accountant is the one that will not steal money, the one that has morals on his side. So to be good and faithful, you have to combine the two. If you are good and you are not faithful, you are a smart cook. Okay, you're back. Okay. I was
Yeah,
saying
I'm
that
back.
look,
Sorry.
you can be you
I'm
can
with
be good.
you.
You have
I
to be
heard what you
both
said.
good. You have to be both good and faithful. Let me come to your field, auto mechanics. I have one mechanic. His name is, let me call him Kamoru. Kamoru can fix any car. When he fixes your wheels like this, it's perfect. When Kamaru fixes your engine, it's perfect, isn't? When he does anything in your car like this, all the screws are popping. You will love this car. So Kamaru is good,
Mm.
but Kamaru can steal your money. Kamaru can inflate the prices of things. If you give Kamaru your car to take home, he can go and use it to carry his girlfriend. So Kamaru is good, but Kamaru is not faithful. Is that intersection of being good
Mm.
and being faithful that excellence actually lies? So somebody that is good and not faithful is a smart group. The one that is faithful and is not good is a holy mumu. Okay, let me give another illustration.
Mm.
There's another mechanic that I have. His name is now Sunday. Now, Sunday, when you give him your engine to handle, he will mess up the engine. Will pour oil everywhere. But you can be sure that if you leave your car with Sunday, Sunday will not carry it anywhere. When you call him, he will answer you. So Sunday is good. I mean, he's faithful, but he's not good. So Sunday is a holy mumu. Sunday will not steal your money, but he's a holy mumu, but he's not good at the technical stuff. Do you understand? So
Mm.
Sunday is another.
Yeah.
There's Sunday now. Sunday will not lie. He will not carry your car anywhere that you've not sent him. If you get, he will quote the exact price. He won't steal anything. But when Sunday fixes your engine, you are coming back tomorrow to refix it. So Sunday is faithful, but it's not good.
Mm.
So Sunday is what? Sunday
Mm.
is a holy mumu.
The
So
holy fool, right?
so when you are now talking, whichever field, you need this intersection of somebody that is both good and faithful. And
Mm.
goodness, when we say somebody is good, it means that he's at par with current technology, is at par with current what he has high standards, he has everything you're calling excellence, but excellence
Mm-hmm.
alone without character, the character of excellence must, and the character and technical excellence, I mean technical, being technically sound and being
No,
character
wow.
sound, each of
Yeah.
them must have a handshake. That is where excellence
Yeah.
truly lies. So whichever work you're doing, you can be excellent. If you're a teacher, be the best teacher, be an excellent teacher. If you're a trader, people know that they're going to get the best deal from you. They can bank on what you've supplied them. They are being excellent. So it doesn't, and then you can put in some creativity into your work too. How do you do your marketing? Is it excellent? Which kind of people do you employ? How do you dress? How do you address your customers and clients? Those are also creative zones that we have to look into. And all those things culminate in what you're going to call excellence. It has to be something that is holistic. That's the way I want to say it.
Thank you very much. Well delivered. So you have to be excellent in attitude and in the skill that is necessary to deliver that excellent service you want to deliver. So it's not just about knowing how to do what you're doing, but it's also about how to conduct yourself in the best of character. So which
Yeah.
is very, very good. All right. Um, I want to ask another question now. I want to ask another question. So when we look at excellence, excellence is not something to come by easily. So after you have put in all your ability to learn the ropes, to understand how to deliver, services excellently, you know, you are the best that everyone is going to call first for a particular height of excellence at what you do. Now it begs the point because the first rule of nature is survival, right? So uh, I don't think anybody is trying to just be excellent for charity or for award or record sake. So it must translate to the dough, right? So how do you transform your excellent delivery into money? Now,
See,
this is it. I want you to sorry for cutting. I want you to consider something. A school of thought looks at it this way: that when you when you charge beyond normal, you're a thief. You know that, like, they put a ceiling to what something should cost, and if you charge beyond that, you're a thief. And another school of thought we say you don't need to do the best, just make it functional. It doesn't have to be beautiful. It doesn't have to have the best of aesthetics. Doesn't have to you know be long lasting. Let's just be functional. Let me use it for 3 weeks and I'm fine, and I pay less. Looking at those two school of thought that exist in our society, how do you make good money having put in a lot of effort to become excellent at what you do?
in- excellence itself is the way I see it, defines who you are on number. I mean, at a basic starting point. Is this me?
Hmm.
Is this the kind of thing? Is this the kind of stuff I represent? Do you understand? That is the first thing. Now, the other thing is this. Uh, the way I handle it is this. You'll be surprised that there are people that want to pay whatever you want to sell in the spectrum of the financial spectrum of the society. There are always some people that are ready to pay that amount for that if they see there's value inside of it. Some people are looking for
Hmm.
value. Some people, it's not value first, it's how much is this thing. Now, if I've
Hmm.
come on this journey this far, I mean, for this far, and I'm not, it gets to a point that I've solved the basic hunger problem because that can be very critical at times too. You've not eaten, you are hungry, things are very bad, for instance, and somebody comes with a project that look, is when you are alive that you'll be talking about excellence tomorrow. I mean, when that's and you need this money badly, and things are very bad. But a lot of times that's most likely will happen when you are just starting out. That's the way I say it. By
Hmm.
the time you, but then it's a risk you have to pay. Do you want to take
Hmm.
this project on and mess up your brand? It may not be too disastrous when you are starting
Hmm.
out. Your brand is not well known, so you may risk it. But then when it gets to a level that you build a brand to a particular level, there's some things that you cannot afford to have messed up whatever you've built over the years because of okay, I don't want to die. At some point, most likely missing an next this job will not kill you. In fact, taking it most likely will kill you more than you not taking it or you not doing it.
Hmm.
Now, people that want the top quality, many of them are ready to pay for it. But you also understand that these people are not fools. Give an instance like photography. You know, a lot of these we're calling creative, they have no price. If you're in the creative industry, nothing has a price. This shirt, how much is it? You don't know. Somebody can say this shirt is 200 naira. Another person can say, this is my shirt, I got it for 200K. maybe because there's one
Mm-hmm.
sticker here or one. But the guy that is buying for 200K is also not stupid. He's buying into something that maybe over the years has proven to be reliable, or when he wears it, it gives him some kind of status. So
Mm.
now, where am I getting to? So the people that are ready to pay premium, they're not fools. Have you built your brand up to that level that it attracts them? Maybe because they have clients that are there and say, he's one that is doing for this guy. That's the reason some people will call you. This Chief Lagbaja said is the one
Mm.
that did it for me. I want to be in the same market that Chief Lagbaja is. Okay, Sonny, he did it for Sonny.
Mm.
You don't know that the photographer that takes
Mm.
Sonny's picture, when you then now pause it to his own event to come and see his photographs, it's not because he cares about the photography so much. When he's okay, that guy, I paid him 5
Mm.
million. He also shoots photographs for Sonny. That is so. A lot of times they have something they're after, and many of them are ready to pay, especially when it comes to the creative field. If you are selling a car, it may not work that way. You can't sell a Honda 2026. There's a price tag on that car. You can't sell your own for much. For say, okay, my own Honda is 200 million. When everybody knows the price of Honda is 10 million, it doesn't work that way in a lot of those of other things. But things that border on creativity, that borders on value judgment, there's
I
practically
think
no
it
value.
works that way too. I think it works that way too. For example, you walk into a store and you ask for Coca-Cola, and when you ask for your bill, after taking just one bottle, they tell you it's 3,000 naira, whereas on the
And
street it's just 500 naira.
the place where okay for some maybe so for some commodities may work like that, but then when you enter into that place, number one, that place they built a brand that says maybe number one, whatever you take here is super quality. The ambience here is different from the ambience you're going to get outside. And then the folks that come here are people that have made it. And that's what you are buying into. Look, do you know where I bought this
Yeah,
Coke? So that is it's not the Coke, it's not the Coke you are buying anymore now.
it's the
you are
experience.
you are buying something else apart from the Coke. In fact, the Coke might just be a minute
Mm.
aspect of what you're buying. It's not the real thing they are selling. There's no Coke they are selling. They're selling something else. Maybe it feel good. And look, when you enter the place, say, do you know where I took that Coke? That is where whiskey drinks his own Coke. So you are buying something else. It's not Coke you are buying again.
Mm.
So there are different packages
Mm.
that when it comes to this premium thing, this is another angle I want to say, I want to come in. See the folks that are buying premium, 99% of the time, they are not stupid because many of them have been able to build wealth, and to build wealth takes a lot of wisdom and shrewdness. So if you don't deliver
Mm-hmm.
up to the level at which they are expecting, you can be in a very big problem. So it's better you make your mistakes at the
Mm.
lower rung of the ladder, not when you are delivering premium. Somebody that has paid you
Mm.
5 million naira for a job that somebody is ready to collect 200,000. You should know that the commissioner of police is his friend. Oh. He knows the commissioner
That
of
part
police.
is there.
If he decides to
Right.
fight you, you'll be in trouble. So you must know your trade very well so that you are delivering at the highest level of professionalism when it comes to those levels. And another thing that I've also noticed is this. I think it's always safer if one can build his brand to a level that you're only delivering at premium. Now, you can have, let me explain why. There's mass, especially if it's your time that translates to money. You can have mass marketing and you can also have niche
I'll be
marketing.
right back. I'm with you.
All
I
right.
want to pick something.
You know,
I'm with you.
so if you're doing mass marketing, it means you are selling for everyone. And it means you have system in place that can deliver quantity. Like a company that is producing biscuits is mass market. But then you're a barber, for instance, and you want to do mass market, you will kill yourself. For instance, you go and do an advert, and 500 people just line up in front of your shop on Monday morning. 500 human beings. They just line up. You're in trouble because how many haircuts can you cut? So for those kind of operations, for those kind of people that are in that business, by the time you bring in your excellence, your best option is to look for premium clients that you're just doing niche. So you just know that when I want to cut a head, not head, I want to barb, my own price is 200,000 naira to give an haircut. This is the excellence level at which I am. So for people that are in the creatives or people that is their time and energy that translates to money directly, I'll always advise find a way to operate at the premium level. So you cut only one hair, or you do video for only one person, you've made good enough money. And a lot of times, from my own
Mm.
experience, once you deliver professionally, these people that are paying premium do not always give you as much trouble as people that are paying you cobos for whatever reason. I don't know
You're
why.
right.
They're the ones that, okay, maybe I know why. There was a time, you see, okay, there's something that we've not, that did that, you see, I started that as, okay, I still do computer science, I still do IT. So I design websites, do programming, scripting, and deliver web solutions. Now, there was a friend of mine that was in
Okay.
UK then. He said, Ayo, I want you to deliver me a content management system, give me the specs. So the thing was supposed to cost around maybe 250,000 naira back then, years back. But this guy is my friend now. We're meeting in secondary school. Okay, why? Let me just, okay, everything I will buy, 40,000. Okay, just pay 50K because you are my friend. Do you understand? So he
Mm.
paid the 50,000 instead of 250 that you're supposed to pay normally. So when I now finished the
Mm-hmm.
project, perfect. I thought I delivered perfectly. So he called me and said, look, I don't like that blue. Maybe you should change that blue. I don't like that shade of blue. I'll change it. He'll come and look at it, think there's something wrong with this. I'll change it. So one of my friends now called me and said, Ayo, you're a stupid, you're a fool now. I said, how? Said, what are you talking about? Let's assume you want to buy a Benz from Amos, and that Benz is supposed to be 50 million, and Amos gives you for 8 million. When you get to what is the next thing you are looking for? You're looking for faults now. Something must be wrong with this car, say. So you open the
For
boot,
it to
you
have
open
been
the boot.
sold for that amount,
So it says,
you underprice
ah,
yourself.
it says something's wrong with the plug. See, the plug is not supposed to be this
Mm.
great. That's why it was sold it for 8 million. So when you saw that one, because I said, the silencer is too black. They just know something inside you just
Mm.
tells me that there's a fault with this work. Something is strange, there's something fishy. So maybe that's the problem, people that
Mm.
pay cheap, maybe that's the problem they have. Immediately they see it, they say, something's wrong with this work. Something inside them is saying, something's wrong with this work. But if they paid at times, when they paid big money, even when these things, they say, look, maybe I'm the one that has not matched up to this level of thinking. This is that work. You know, do you understand? So I think for me, I will advise that one should just work at premium. It helps, and then you have lesser headache provided you are delivering at professional level. Those cheap ones, you will suffer from two directions. You suffer to put in the work, and
Mm.
you suffer to please the client a lot of times. They say you should please give away some
Mm.
of your clients.
It's, Mama Wise is talking to you. She's talking to you.
It's you. Maybe I don't have product, it's something I do.
Yeah, service. Your product is your service.
Yeah.
She's talking about you.
Mama wife is wise.
Yeah, that's
Mama
wise,
wife,
Mama Wise. Yeah, Mama Wise is
Mama wife
wise.
is wise. Yeah. So that is it. I think have I
Well,
answered the question a little? I hope I have, because I have a way
no,
of
you
going
did
back and
justice
forth.
to it.
Mhm.
No, you did justice to it. You would pass for a good teacher, and I appreciate
Thank
you
you.
taking your time on these things.
Yeah.
And Mama Wise also said, "Right on," and she's laughing about Mama Wise is wise.
Yes,
That's
actually,
a
she chose
nice
that name
rhyme.
deliberately. She chose the name deliberately. It wasn't was an excellent. It's an excellent name. Very creative. Let's go.
Okay,
Okay.
so what I could deduce from this last thought of yours is when you strive to give excellent service, and you could be rest assured that your service is excellent, then you should look for people who could pay for that service, right? On
Helps.
premium market.
Helps. It helps.
All right. So by that, you've also been able to clarify that the price or the pricing sieves out those that would, look out for the faults, are those that will just stay in trust with what you have delivered.
Mhm. Yeah.
So now that we know the importance of the premium market, and thanks for bringing that lingo into this conversation, how do we connect to this premium market? Yeah, I understand the natural way. Somebody finds your brand, you do a work for the person, he likes it, and it he does another one with you, and someone else sees what you've done for the person and asks person, where did you do it? And they refer to you. That one looks like, it's gonna take ages, for that kind of bucket of water to be filled. So how do you expedite it? You know, I appreciate the fact that you made it clear that everyone has to be, wary about the kind of business or service or product that they offer. Some does a mass, they they produce a mass for a mass market, and if you are doing, just if you are the product or the service, you
Yeah.
should not do as if you're a mass product and producer of that service and do adverts everywhere when you've not put structure in place to replicate yourself. You're just gonna
Mhm.
die and kill your brand and kill yourself. So I appreciate that part that you've made clear. How do we attract this premium market? Apart from waiting for somebody to come and do it, pay premium and bring some of his premium friends who wants to do it. How can you do? You go talking to people? Do you do some strategic pitching or adverts? How do you do it?
Well, the first thing is your product or whatever service you're giving must be premium first. That
Hmm.
is, let's take it for granted that you have that one settled. Now, the next, you can go the slow way, which I think is safer when you're starting out. That this person tells this person. And when you are doing premium, in fact, if you have, you need not need more than 5 premium clients, you'll be
Hmm.
surprised. Now, let's assume that
Hmm.
you're servicing NLNG, for instance, is one of your clients.
Hmm.
Chevron Nigeria Limited. In fact, those two are enough for you. For you.
Hmm.
So now, how do you attract? I'm also talking to myself in this. It's not like I'm talking everything is from, it's not everything is from experience. Now, we've taken it for granted that what you are giving is your service and product is premium. Now, how do you now attract
Right.
premium clients? Now, the referral
Mm-hmm.
system works very well when people tell themselves.
Hmm.
Now, immediately they tell themselves, your pricing problem is already solved for you. You're not about to haggle and fight.
Hmm.
Somebody calls, is okay, is it most that did this for me? How much did you collect? You collected 50 million. Immediately that person calls you and says, is this person that referred me? You are not haggling. Because that person would have told you
Hmm.
how much. That also could also be risky. If you done it for somebody at 2,000, everybody that comes from me will do it for that price. So
You're right.
maybe you are hungry when you told him your price, just so that everybody that comes from. So that is one. I mean, that one
Yeah.
works very well. The haggling issue, pricing issue, if it's referral, a lot of times it's already settled. You're not about to be start haggling. My price is this. My price. You know how much you must have told you how much I did it for you. Some other people are more strategic. What do I mean by more strategic? I have a friend was in Port Harcourt then. He wanted to be a vendor to, I think, to one of the oil companies. What he did first was that, look, what are the prerequisites? What are those things that you need to be a vendor to? Let me say Shell, for instance. So do you need
Mm-hmm.
to belong to any association? Maybe a professional association. He went and joined them. Do you need this license? He went and got it. Do you need this certification?
Hmm.
That could be a real long journey, be a lot of work. Do you need test clearance of 20, 50 million for the last 3 years or whatever? You went and got it. You,
Hmm.
these are the kind of people that this you must have all this before these folks will talk to you. And it's also good,
Hmm.
those people also use it to sieve out on serious non-players. So by the time if you
Yeah.
can pay this price, you only have a few people that can have all these credentials ready to come and say, okay, I'm applying
Yep.
to do this. So what is it going to take? You have to look what are the prerequisites to hit this premium market and make sure you get them. There are some organizations that will not deal with anybody on an individual basis. They want a limited liability company.
Yeah.
They go and bring your
Exactly.
invoice. Okay, go and bring your invoice. Now use hand. You now wrote it with your hand and you give it to them, or you send it on text message. Say, oh my friend, about 50 million, but with text message. This guy wants to collect 50 million with text. Do you understand? Now let me give you another
Hmm.
instance. Something happened at some point. I used to have a friend, he's a photographer. He was always shooting big people, and I also there was now one big man that wanted me to shoot to do a coverage for him. So I now called him. I said, "Oga, how do you build it?" He said, "Look, let me teach you a style. The style I use. Don't just tell him the thing is 2 million. No, 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 no. You now get your invoice. You now break everything down into bits. 5 photographers, accommodation, feeding, uh, allowance per day. Now that's personnel. You have broken down all the personnel, put the prices there. Equipment, this camera, this camera, this camera, this camera, price per day, blah blah. Put it there. So you now break everything into fragments. At the end of the piece, you now write 6 million naira. So when it now comes, because immediately you just say 3 million, you now break it like just this guy wants to cheat me. Because those people that are premium people, it took them a while to make that money. It's not like they want to throw it away. And if they've been throwing it
You're
away,
right.
if they've been throwing it away in the past,
They won't be at the level they have.
they
You're
won't be
right.
at the level. So, so by the time you give him the long list, when he now looks at his 6 million, he's the one that will be saying, this thing is too expensive. I'll say, which one do you want us to remove? Remove. Okay, you want 2 photographs? I say, no, I want 4. I want 5. I want the 5. Do you want us to remove? We want to remove that one. We can't remove this and not remove this one. So he said, okay, look, how much is the last price
Hmm.
you're going to do for? So in fact, when that thing happened, when I gave my client, I said, what? This is expensive. Look, I cannot pay. Let me give an illustration. The cost, maybe I would have billed in 400K, for instance. So if I had paid 600K, I would be happy. I've had enough. That was years ago. I'll be okay. So now that I gave him a bill for 3 million after I'd broken it down into bits, which would have been what would have worked in maybe in the US or UK. That I wasn't cheating him, but we don't value these services so highly around here. After I'd given him, he now looked at it and
Exactly.
said, look, I can't pay 3 million. No, it's not possible. Okay, look, I can't pay more than 1 million. So I said, I feel so bad. Let me call you back. So because I didn't want to appear to be jubilating on the phone. So after I got the phone,
You're right.
so I now called him back. I said, look, what can we do? It's you now. We've been working together, and I want to do this for relationship. So let's see. See, I will still put in the best so that quality is not compromised. I'm just telling you that's premium. You have to be strategic. You need extra level of wisdom to work in that on that playground. So that is you have to be
Hmm.
strategic. Some people are actually very strategic. Some people they want to do premium work. If he's living in, let me say for instance, if he's living in a place like Ede before, Ede in Osun State, he deliberately moves to Lagos, telling you, says which is the highest, which
Hmm.
where's the church where we have the biggest billionaires around. He deliberately goes to that. I've seen people do that before. Deliberately moves to that church,
Yeah.
lives in that neighborhood. He learns their ways. He deliberately walks the way they are walking. If they are speaking their English like
Exactly.
this, he's speaking like they are speaking the English. This is how they dress here. He dresses like that. After a while, they begin to think
Exactly.
this is one of us. And after a while, they begin
Hmm.
to trust him. He might not have too much of money, but he's strategic. And after a while, they just admit him into the community. This is one of us. And they begin to give him jobs like, not like, but he must have had his excellent gaming in place before he moved because gaming can get you to a particular level. If the substance is not there, remember I told you
Hmm.
that those people have the DP of police as their as their friend. They will carry you. They will carry you. That's the way. Those are the
Mm.
things I can talk about. So we can maybe in the course of discussion, I may be able to throw in some other insights. Let's see.
Oh, thank you so much. And Mama Y says premium or nothing. So it's just gotta be premium or nothing, and that's I think she's catching from what Ayoke is saying. And Ayoke has been giving us some very deep insights about excellence, how to achieve excellence, how to make it excellence or nothing, and that's what Mama Wise was reiterating down there. Thank you so much and so far. All right, now this excellence of a thing, the beauty of it is that it gives you a leverage, and by the time one is able to put in all this that you just said, translate it into money, you know identifying a premium market and putting yourself in a place where you satisfy the requisites to belong into that market, to be able to play in that market, and also making some money from that market. Eventually there comes some tons of events that reminds you that you're an excellent genius, but you're still a man. You're still a man, and some things don't go the route you want it to go. Sometimes you put in all the best plans, and some project just flops.
Yeah.
How do you handle issues when uh, inadvertent bad delivery wants to ruin your signature, wants to ruin your reputation? Because I think every brand needs to be able to at least have a minimum, PR, to be able to, service some customer care. How do you take care of issues like that? When you do a job, it's not too bad, but it doesn't represent what you stand for. And on the other hand, you do a job that is just so bad, and it's not gonna stand for you, like it's not gonna represent you. How do you fix that?
See, whether we like it or not, those occasions will show. But 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 it should not be a norm. That is one. It
Mm,
should just be once in a blue moon, beyond unforeseen circumstances. That should happen
mm,
because when you are building a brand, it's what comes to mind when they think about you, and it's a measure of predictability that a lot of times that people are paying for. So, but once in a while,
mm,
we're humans. There are factors that are beyond you at times. There could even be a miscommunication. I mean, there could be a communication gap at times. There are times that it's not even your fault. But the first thing is that we must find means of what I was called graceful recovery, proper management of crisis management when those things show up.
mm.
The and it starts from the way you've always related with your clients. There's a way that your clients can become your friend. Yeah, that your client comes to a point that they know that look, we have similar visions, and your vision, your reason for working with us is not just because you want to chop our money. There's some they know that there's some people you are dealing with. This guy doesn't care about you in any way. He just wants to chop money. He's only in this thing for money. But when it gets to a point that your
You're
client
right.
has this feeling that look, this is a project, these are projects, right from the inception and the way you're running things, that knows that look, I'm a part of this and I want to see it succeed, not just give me my money, let me go, let me give. There you feel there's trouble. So now when those
Mm,
kind of issues happen, let me give you practical instances. About three, 3 days ago, there was a print project I was supposed to do, but the owner wanted it on Wednesday, maybe by 5 p.m. He gave me the job
okay.
on Monday. He knew that the process was very tight. That most normally that kind of job should have, maybe we should have given it maybe till Friday or Saturday. But knowing that, okay, I could move
Mm,
some things, maybe pay some people extra and go, this thing will be ready. for 5 p.m. So we'll do our best. But you know, I'm
Wow.
not good. So the job was completed. Even I think by Wednesday morning it was completed. Now, while they were now bringing it down and they now had issues, this job now arrived around 8 p.m. The job was well
Wow.
done. Instead of 5 p.m., arrived 8 p.m. So, but the owner called me the following day, said, look, I paid for 5 p.m. And you told me it was possible. I'm telling you. I told you it was possible. And you told me it was possible. And I'm not getting value for what I paid for. And that was the one that was stretching myself so that, look, this thing normally should have taken till Friday. But no, but that was the agreement. The first thing I did was that, look, I allowed him to vent because he's still my customer. He's still my client. I don't want to lose him. I want us to be in good news. So immediately after I
Mm.
finished talking, and you know, there's a key that opens everybody. There's some universal keys. Then there's some keys that open each
Hmm.
people up, there's some
That
particular
part.
keys for some
That part.
particular people. Hmm? There's some universal keys. Then there's also some keys that are just particular keys that you know this is what opens it. This is what he likes. So and
Psychology.
I know so you need the psychology. So after I finished talking, so I said, look, I allowed him to talk. I said, sir, you see, you know that when you give me a project, once you tell me it's priority, I take it as priority from our previous dealings. And then this work, you gave me a design which was supposed to take maybe 24 hours. If you make recall, it was ready the following morning. So I wasn't taking this thing for fun. I knew it was priority. So it had been delivered. And this happened along the road. I couldn't help it. And then you also know this. It wasn't my fault that the road from Lagos to Ibadan was blocked now. So we tried all we could,
Hmm.
and so but this happened and it has happened. And after a while, after I explained, he saw reason, and then that was at least the first thing that I didn't get is where so did you also know that this thing was supposed to take 5 days? How can you be telling me that I was trying to pity you in the first, which was right? You understand? Which was the right approach to take, sir. You've been doing pretty too for how many years?
Hmm.
This work that you gave me, you know, normally should take. I've been doing it normally should take 5 days. I was just trying to help you. Now you've thrown these assistants into my. You've thrown these assistants I want to do now. It's now blowing back in my face. Sir, I don't think this is fair. I was just trying to help you in the
Hmm.
first instance. Now. You know, that's an approach.
Do you have to say please? Like, do you have to apologize or something?
No, my own. You see, when you see, there are two types of apologies. There's an apology that says, I'm sorry. You are saying that if this thing happens again, I'll do it differently. You understand? That is one level of
Hmm.
apology. Okay, I made a mistake. If this situation presents itself again, I'll do it differently. I'm sorry I slapped you. I'm so sorry. It means next time I will not slap you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's another second level of apology. I'm sorry you feel this way. I'm not happy you feel this way. But next
That you're
time,
feeling. I don't intend to make you feel bad.
I don't
Hmm.
intend to make you feel this way. It wasn't what I planned
But
making.
there's
But
nothing
next
I
time I
can do
can't
about
guarantee
it.
I can't guarantee that Lagos Ibadan Expressway will not be blocked. There wasn't anything I could have done better than I didn't do.
Hmm.
I did everything I could have done. It just didn't play
Hmm.
out. So my apology is not about saying that there's something wrong I did or I didn't play some things right. It's about look,
Hmm.
oh, I'm sorry you are feeling this way. I didn't mean to hurt you. It wasn't my intention wasn't to
Hmm.
make you feel this. It's different from okay, I'm sorry I did the wrong thing. So and
Hmm.
then somebody asking that she needs the universal keys. Now the universal
Yeah,
keys,
thank you for noticing that.
the generic keys. Everybody loves to feel important. Everybody loves,
Hmm.
and every person loves respect. That is, there's a level of respect that everybody loves. Everybody loves things like you being polite. People want to be seen.
Hmm.
They want to be recognized. Those are skills that are
Hmm.
just generic. It's just that some people need extra doses, which are the personal key for those people. You also know that this person, all he needs is look. Sorry to say, there's some people that once you get to his office and you give him a bottle of wine, that's what and you already know. You
Do
understand?
you do that? Like, do you have to do that?
No, there are times wine is just symbolic. I mean, it's just figurative. I mean, and when I say wine, it doesn't even have to be alcoholic wine. Just the guy just wants some appreciation. Say, you know, the guy likes to drink. Let me say, for instance, the person has a son. The son likes a
Mm,
PlayStation or something. I know say, "Oh, let him for a toy." Maybe the boy likes Rubik cubes, and you know this guy likes his son. So you get to his house and you say, I was thinking of John. I know your son. Please, this Rubik cube is for John. There's something called emotional bank account. I'm not sure whether you've heard of it before. You see, in every relationship, they're keeping a tacit record.
yeah.
It's not written down, but there's a bank account that we're both keeping. When I do the things that you like, you
Mm,
credit me. When I do things that you like, you're going to write that credit somewhere in your subconscious, depending on the weight you attach to it. Depending on
mm-hmm,
the weight you attach to it.
mm,
So when I do things you don't like, when I call for
mm,
favors, depending on the weight you attach to it, you're going to debit it. There's going to be a problem the day I try
mm,
to overdraw the account. That's when there's crisis. Imagine your madam
mm,
now at home. Maybe you know that your madam likes Benz. That's the car she likes, Benz. Some women, it's not Benz they want. They just want their husband to hug them in the morning and kiss them. Some husbands are foolish. They are buying Benz for the woman. It's not Benz she wants. She just wants to be hugged and
mm,
kissed. They're just paying. It
mm,
doesn't. That's not the key that opens the woman. So you know that your wife likes Benz. Now today, you know your wife doesn't like you coming home late. So today you come home late. You
mm-hmm,
just bought, maybe you bought the Benz 2 years ago that she's using. So you came home late today. Benz credit has not finished. Will not get angry with you.
mm-hmm,
The following day, will not get. By the time it gets to Thursday, you've done it 4 days. Hmm? And you now do it on Friday, she'll just scatter. No, it means the credit. So it means that the credit has run. You've outdrawn the account. You know that. But let's
mm,
assume on Wednesday you buy her
yeah.
on another Benz. Do you think she'll get angry on Friday? It meant you had already you don't top
No,
up the account. Most unlikely. So we
exactly.
got into crisis when we tried to overdraw this emotional bank account that we have. So you also have this emotional bank account with your clients, which you must try to always make sure it's in the positive, especially for cases where things will go wrong. If you are somebody they don't like in the first instance, they're just managing you. Your account
Mm,
at E, you know what they call E, like fuel tank, E empty. You get my point. It's on empty already.
yeah.
You now come and you now bring it something now falls out. They will cut off your head straight away now. But let's assume you're somebody they like, everybody in the company like,
Mm,
no, Mr. Amos is not like that. This thing just went around. They just so that's very critical. I hope I've made some sense.
wow.
So and then another thing, when those kind of things,
Much for that.
when those things kind of
Okay.
when those kind of situations happen, please take as much as possible, take responsibility for it, for the fallout as much as it's your responsibility. Take as much of this as you can and make sure that it doesn't happen again. And then try and find a way to bring them value that will measure up. I mean, something to compensate them. Those people just want to say sorry and go. I'm sorry, sir. Never been, sir. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Exactly. Exactly.
Do you understand? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Nobody
Thank you
wants to
very
hear I'm
much
sorry. What are you bringing? What are you going to use to compensate these people? Okay, maybe the next job I'll
to
do this, I'll do
assuage
this.
it.
So, yeah, so it's not just I'm sorry. Mm, you have to be responsible. That's what I have to say.
All right. You've really done justice to that. I have just one question, and before then, I want you guys in the chat to put your questions there. We're gonna take as much as we can take. Mama Y says, "I'm aware of depositing into the emotional bank account of people." Yeah, so Mama Y is acknowledging that she's aware about that principle. Jesse William in the building. Jesse, this is Jesse from Pennsylvania of the United States of America. Jesse, how you doing? Good to see you here. Jesse says, "A good man. I'm glad to call you my friend. You've been patient with me and haven't gave up, and I want to thank you for that. God bless you." Oh, that's touching. Thank you, Jesse, for that warm comment. Thanks for those kind words. I really appreciate you, Jesse. I hope you're having a great day, Jesse. And Raphael, number Y says, "Wow, Okay, I think I missed what she's saying. Wow, too. Probably she'll help us to know that. Is there anybody having any question, or are you guys typing a question? I'm about asking my last question for this session, and in fact, it's like we should not end this session because we've just been getting some deep dose of wisdom on the Wisdom Lounge this evening from Ayo Oke, and I must just appreciate him and appreciate him again for
Thank
obliging to be
you.
here. Oh, we have Tina Mari in the building. Tina Mari. How are you? Tina Mari is from Ohio, United States of America. Tina Mari says hi, Pekamo and guest. Yeah, this is hi, okay. Yeah, is a tech veteran, he's a programmer and is a multimedia expert, photography, videography, prints. It's is just everywhere around the media world, and is doing the best that is notable enough for the best people, the princes and governors to take note of. And one thing that first caught my attention about Hayoke is that only the biggest people mention his names.
Yeah,
Only the
I'm
biggest
thinking.
people want to use his service.
Hmm.
No, 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 no. That's it. That's it. That's what I've seen. It's not your eyes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
So Tina Mari, that's how you're okay, and we've been enjoying some great dose of wisdom. Thank you for coming. She said she came to show some love. Thank you so much, Tina Mari. And Raphael Y says, give it to the best participant from Mr. Hayo. Oh, okay. Give away to the best participant from Mr. Ayo. Okay. I get this. She is soliciting that Mr. Ayo should do a giveaway for the best participant in the chat. So I think
Maybe I
Mr.
should
Ayo is
beat.
going to give you a wink.
Maybe I should beat you to participation. I'll start chatting myself too. So I'll keep it.
Mr. Ayo is going
Okay.
to give you his classic smile, his best smile as a giveaway. But sincerely, I really appreciate everyone here. But before we go, I want to ask two questions in one. And if there's any other question in the chat, we're going to take them. So please turn in your questions. Double tap to like this video. If you've not done that, please double tap to join this video. And if you're watching for the first time and you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. That's going to go a long way in helping this channel and help the algorithm to favor us in such way. All right, guys. Excellence now. We have taken in a lot of nuggets about excellence, why we have to do it, how we can inculcate it, and how we can make it a lifestyle such that every product we give out is going to be an excellent one. So two questions in one is that how do you replicate yourself so excellently that even in your absence some certain people can still do things in your stead and without any significant reduction in excellence? And secondly, how do you take care of this this embodiment of excellence? This vision carrier of excellence that it doesn't live his life short-lived, at least or at most to the best of his ability.
Okay. There is a problem that a lot of people have. I think for many of us is how do you move from being a solo, let me say, a solo operator to a system operator? A lot of us, especially creative people, especially the creative industry,
Hmm.
or people that do creative work, it's difficult to transit from being a technical person to a business person. I mean, when you are, if you are,
Hmm.
if you are, for instance, let's assume that Yeah, a barber, for instance. You just what comes to your mind when it comes to business is let me just have more heads and more heads to barb, and nobody can barb like I can barb. It's difficult to find somebody
Mm-hmm.
else that can do it like only you know how to do it, or somebody that is cooking
Exactly.
rice. There's somebody that know how to cook good food. Nobody can cook rice like me, and you are cooking it, and
Mm.
people are saying your rice is good. But then, how do you now have a team of people that can cook rice like you, or they can produce the same thing without fail? Because that is where true wealth is. People that can turn individual capacities into a system capacity, system capability, so that even if you are not there, this thing can run without you. And that is where the business
Mm.
angle of things. It's not a lot of people that get to translate into that, especially in this part of the world, because of number one, challenges.
Mm.
The first challenge is that look, when somebody wants to be a doctor, you send the person to medical school, and it does maybe 7 years of medical school. You don't say, okay, don't worry,
Mm.
just go and be treating people. You will learn how to become a doctor. When he wants to
Mm.
do, if it's architecture, you don't say, just go and start building, you will learn on the job. But when it comes to business,
Mm.
say, just go and start doing it, don't worry, you will learn. So a lot of us don't get to have actual business education. It's okay, I'll just be learning on the job. Many times we are restricted. That is then. So I'll say that there's a place for education where we can turn uh, individual capacities to system capacity. So I think that's also important to me. So I think I have to learn more of it. The more of it we know how to do, the better we can put systems in place that can replicate whatever we call excellence. So that it goes beyond us and it becomes something that can run outside of us, that can even outlive us. A lot of us think we own a business. Whereas we don't own a business, that business owns us. You can't say, and I won't go to work today for next 1 week. Well, you can't even afford to be ill for 1 week. Also, but the real rich people are the ones that can just go on holidays for 2 months and say, hey, you boys, share to make away, and they just see money in their account. So, how does one transit from
Exactly.
thinking you can be excellent truly, but then how do you have something in place that can run without you? That for me also is a challenge which I'm trying to work. The first thing is getting educated for it, learning from people that have done it, and being active to learn how to put systems in place. What do I mean by systems? You don't need this. You're not looking for supermen. You're looking for people that are good at some particular things and you train them to handle it and they can give to the next person so that if anybody leaves, it's easily replaceable. So you can just have an oversight the whole system. So that is what was the question again? I hope I'm not running off the question.
Yeah, you've answered that one part of it. So
Yeah,
remaining the other
that's
part,
it.
how do you take care of
So
yourself?
and then even this excellence, even when you have a system, there's something that is called quality control, which is very, very critical. Even when you have a team who is in charge of quality control, I think that should be you, because whatever comes out is effectively your product. Can't get the say, do you know that it's our graphic artist that made the mistake? No, it's you that made the mistake. So the final, whatever output is coming out, you should be eagle-eyed and watch over whatever is coming out from our table to be sure that look, this actually represents what you stand for. Now, how do you take care of yourself so that
Mm. Are you there? Are you there? Probably his network hacked it up, or maybe he got a call.
hello?
Okay, it's back. It's
Okay,
back.
yes. So I was asking that how do you take care of this yourself so that you will last? Is that I think that's the second question.
Mm.
So that
Yeah,
because no matter
because
how it's
excellence zaps energy from you.
yeah, because you see, you're given they give you, I mean, God gives you, let me use God, God gives you an assignment and He gives you a horse to deliver to to deliver the assignment. If that horse dies or you kill the horse, it doesn't matter how far you delivered the assignment or how excellently you are delivering the assignment. Assignment has finished. So, and your body is that
Mhm.
horse. So we have to take care of it. Your health is paramount. And when I'm talking about health, physical health, mental health, and a lot of times what drives the physical health, number one, a lot of times is the mental health. So be
Mm.
happy. That's me. You'll see I'm always lively, I'm
Yeah.
happy, I don't have room for grudges, I don't take, and then there's something
Una
I have to be
matata.
tolerant with. I have to be tolerant with people. And tolerance, I'm not trying to run anybody down when it comes to tolerance. You know, we are not equally, when you see Pekamo is not so tall, maybe it's around 5'4", 5'6". I don't know what your height is. Another person is maybe 6'4". I'm not angry because I'm between that tall guy and Pekamo, there's a large graduation of height in that interval. I'm not
Exactly.
angry at it so because I know God has not distributed height equally, isn't it? Now, somebody is fair, Pekamo is dark, a little dark, me, I'm fair. There's some folks that are fairer than I am. So you know that complexion too is graduated. God did not give it equal, isn't it? So, hmm, so you will not be stupid or naive to think that God has distributed intelligence equally. No, you'll be stupid to think that everybody is equally intelligent. So at times, this is not to say that you are more intelligent or
Mm.
anything. Some people would come up with things that look, is this guy stupid that you want to kill him or bite him, or he's just something that you just think is out of this world. Look, most like it's not impossible that that's the way the person sees it. That's how best he could think about it at that point in time. So that will make your level of tolerance just go through the roof. And then once you have a lot of tolerance and you can live with people around you with, I mean, with in harmony. So and people are so once you have that tolerance, a lot of times you can get along with a lot of people, and then you also don't take yourself too seriously. All of us, nobody's going to get. I'm not saying you should be serious, but a lot of times people we overthink our own importance as a person, as an individual. You think you are just
Mm.
no, nobody's going to get out of this life alive anyway. All of us will pass 200 years time. Nobody, in fact, 100 years time, nobody here will be here again. All have gone. So all the kakaka, what is it about? So if you have good mental health, good self-esteem, you sorted your own identity issue, that you are not what you were, your value is not the props, it's not what is around you, and you know that that value is intrinsic. Nobody can take away your self-esteem unless you willingly give it away, unless you submit it. Once you settle that one and you settle your mental issue and you are screwed up, you already screwed up right, now you have your physical pain, the other part, the organic part to deal with. Now, eat well within the means of
Mm.
your pocket. I'm not saying you go and borrow because you want to eat shawarma or you want to. No, there's some simple foods that are not too expensive that are very healthy. Excellence, even when it comes to food, is not about lack a lot of times. Some people just eat things that are not healthy, even though they have money. So you make sure you eat well,
Mm.
you rest well. The last but not the least, in fact, which is about the most important part of it, make sure you exercise, especially for people that are you call yourself creative or you're a business person and you come to the office, you sit in front of your chair, in front of the system from morning till night. You are drinking Coke, the following morning, you go into the AC. You, instead of climbing the stairs from your office place down, you go enter the lift. From there, they carry your bag, they put you in the bag, they put you in the back seat, they drive you home. When you get home, you drive you there. It's like you want to drive to your dining table. You will die on that.
Sedentary
So
lifestyle. Hmm.
sedentary lifestyle kills. It kills faster than any other thing. So for me as a person, it's not like I have that kind of much money for it, but then I make sure that I have a gym subscription that I use. So almost on a daily basis, I go there and jump and look at you. There was a day the instructor saw me. I didn't know I didn't know he had been looking at me. He said, "What's your problem?" Whenever I mention this place, that he always sees me frowning, that I'm just like I'm angry. I looked at him, I said, "Do you think I enjoy coming here? You think I want to build more? I don't want to. I don't enjoy coming here. I'm coming here because of responsibilities that I have to be here because I have bills to pay. I have responsibilities that I need to be sure that I've done my part of the whole thing to be sure I'm healthy. It's not because I enjoy coming to the gym. If I can pay
Mm.
somebody to go and jump for me, I will do it. Just coming because so he said, "Why you always find me?" I'm not enjoying coming here to come and lift anything. It's just responsibility. So if you want to last, being physically active is very vital. By the time you are 70, you are 80, the effect of sedentary life will show. and you want to be sure that you've done your
Mm,
part, being active while you are young, so that they won't be pushing you around later in life if you've kept
mm,
active. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. So I'll be requiring you in a moment now to give us your parting shot. And adding to your parting shot, I would like to know your philosophy about life. Like anything striking to you about life that you hold dearly to your heart, to your mind. I'd like to know that. So while giving you time to build that in your mind, I want to read a few comments. Okay, just one of them. Mama Wise says it's important to note that people are wired differently. This you should learn to tolerate people. Okay, that you should learn to. Okay, it is important to know that people are wired differently. This you should learn to tolerate people. Okay, you should learn this one to tolerate people. That is important to note that people are wired differently. Okay, that's precisely said by you from a wise. Yeah, okay, thus you should learn to tolerate people. Okay, that makes sense also. And Ayoke has given us a lot of insight. He said you should eat well, you should rest well, and you should not take yourself too seriously. Not that you should not be serious about your life, but you should not overthink things. The the shivering all about because you missed some steps or you missed some targets you need to get to, and be too hard on yourself. And likewise, you should not be too hard on people too, because when you bottle up such emotions, you're gonna be putting yourself in the wrong part of life. And it also made us to understand that we would at one point or the other need to translate this level of wealth in our business to a bigger level of wealth by putting some people in charge, creating a system that runs with or without you. And I think that is pristine to know, because that is what differentiates a a source of income, self-employment from business. And I really appreciate you for that. And I really appreciate you for coming once again. I will still say it again and again that it was within a short notice, but you made it a reality. Guys listening from wherever you're listening all over the world, Ayo Okay is not somebody that you should be able to just contact like that, but he gave me the privilege. I understand that he is very busy. I know that because he's about one project or the other, and he just obliged to come in here, and I am very grateful about that. I'm really very grateful, and I'm sure that everyone that has come in for the shortest of time to the longest of time, has actualized this opportunity, has given us to give us his own share of life wisdom on this wisdom lounge. Thank you so much once again, Ayoke. If
Thank
you
you
want to
very
start
much.
saying the different parts, yeah, thank you. If you want to start saying the different parts of Ayoke, the different things it does, the different things that makes him unique and stands out, there's so much that we're gonna spend maybe another 5 hours
Thank
talking
you.
about those
Thank
things,
you. Thank you.
you
Thank
know.
you.
But
Thank you.
it's suffice to just say, for every of the points that IOK has helped us to outline and expatiated on, we should try and watch this video again, take out those points and apply them to our operations, to our work, to our life, to our business, to our skills, our career, our family. And I'm sure that you're going to see a difference on the positive side of things, in your life. All right, now to Ayoke's parting shot
Yeah, I
and
want to
his
thank you for
philosophy
bring,
about life.
I want to thank you for bringing me on to this show, and I appreciate the work you're putting into it. So everybody that's been
It's
online
a
too, I want to
privilege
thank
for
you,
me.
and folks that are watching too. Is a privilege. Now, my philosophy about life is that there's one that I know is that look, be we are blessed to be a blessing. That is for me.
Mm.
there are some things that you didn't choose and God has given you. You are not better than the other person. It could have been in the other person's shoes because you didn't choose to be where you are really. So you're just blessed. And then when you have, and there's no level in life wherever you are that there's not some people below you and there's some people above you. So no matter how lonely you are the answer to some other
Mm.
people's, you are the answer to some about other people's
Prayers.
problem. Yeah, I mean, you are the answer to their
Hmm.
prayers. So can you be, I mean, can you just look down and that is down for you? Some other people that you are praying God to help, God will not come down to help you. You're also praying that some people from the up will
Mm.
look down. So
Mm.
we are blessed to be a blessing. So it's as much of a blessing that you are. In fact, your true happiness will come from you being a blessing, not as much as some other people blessing you. That's my own life
Mhm.
philosophy. If you are normal, if you've not been corrupted,
Wow.
your true happiness, your true joy will be in being a blessing. So at the end of the year, what are your prayer?
Mm.
What's your prayer request? And I pray that God will give me a brand new car. Okay, it's a prayer request. But a better prayer request would be God bless me so much that I can give a brand new car to somebody. Do you
Mm.
know? You reverse it. But you that you can give a brand
Mm.
new car away, certainly a car is not your problem anymore. So you flipped it, and it's always a
True.
better prayer.
True.
Yeah, so
True.
that's it. So that's my, and then you see, there's no way you can take God and the sacrifice of Jesus that is done for us out of our lives, especially if you're a Christian. So if you've received so much, you've been blessed, so you should also be a blessing. There's an Igbo adage that says a man is a man whose mustache is burning that smells it first. I don't know whether you read that adage before. It's the
You
man
come
whose
again.
mustache is burning. It's a man whose mustache is burning
Okay.
that
Okay.
smells
Okay.
it
That
first.
smells it first.
Yes, because the smoke is going directly into his nose. I see you have a mustache too.
Yeah.
So if
First
you begin
time.
to burn, the thing will go directly into your nose, isn't it? But interestingly,
Mm-hmm.
everybody's mustache is burning at some point.
Mm.
So the illusion is that I mean the truth, the reality for everybody is that your mustache is burning at some point. So the thing is going directly to your nose. So you'll have to
Mm.
be gracious to see another person who said he's actually burning, not his own mustache. His whole head is burning. So how do you
Mm.
take your focus away from your own mustache that is burning to somebody whose head is burning? Because you always have your mustache
Mm.
burning at some point. So somebody has a car, his car has silencer issue. For instance, maybe you have a Range Rover and you need 300K to fix your silencer of your car, and your neighbor has not paid his house rent. So it's less as if maybe they need 50K. But because
Mm.
your mustache is burning, you most likely not see that 50K that guy is dying because of 50K. Because your problem seems closer
Mm.
to you and is choking you. So you'll have to be able to go out of that mode of problems. You always have those problems to look beyond them and see people that are who said it's burning that is close to you. So you are blessed
Mm.
to be a blessing. That's my life.
It can't be said in any way better than that because Ayoke has made it
Thank
expressed
you.
in the best of way. And I really appreciate that you're blessed to be a blessing. And that got me thinking that talking about being a blessing to myself, to everyone that is watching and that will be watching later on, I want to urge you guys make sure you look out for someone, at least one person around you that needs something that you have, and be a blessing to that person. You know, you don't have to look at the biggest things. I'm not saying you have just one house and you're giving out one house. There are many things you have that, like he said, you're looking up, and that's why you're not thankful. If you look down the road, you see that a lot of people are even aspiring to get half of what you have. So it might be some shoes that you no longer wear, some clothes you don't no longer wear, some gadgets you no longer use, some phones you no longer use. I know Ayoke has a lot of those phones that he no longer uses. Maybe some cars you no longer drive. You know, look at somebody who's in real need of it that is going to really make a difference in that person's life and give it to the person. And the person will be thankful for that. And hopefully, the person will grow to the point where he or she can also do the same. I think I like that philosophy to always be conscious about the fact that you are blessed, not just to live large, but to be a blessing. Thank you so much, Hayo Oke, for joining this live
Thank you, my
stream.
brother.
And at this point, we can release you. We have taken you on this ride on this program, Wisdom Lounge, for 2 hours 19 minutes, and I really appreciate you for staying tuned. And Mama Wise is saying thank you, Mr. Hayoke. God bless you. And she also says you're blessed to be a blessing. Yeah, reiterating what you said in your philosophy of life. Thank you so much. Everyone that has watched, from the beginning to the end or from one part to another part of this program, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Mama Wise, I really appreciate you. Well, Mama Wise, you're number one, and YouTube is recognizing that you're number one. I give it to you. Thank you for being number one here. Your first account is Rafael Wise, you're number one. Your second account is number two, and the real Pekamo is number three. Thank you. Ifi Insight number four. Shaz Travel number five. Precious Shinira. Fresh number six. Kumari Barbosa number seven. Tina Marie number eight. JC Williams, thank you for joining. Samuel again, thank you. Mikavelli, thank you for joining. Wow, I really appreciate you guys and every other person that was watching in the background and is not, saying anything in the chat. I really appreciate you and I hope that you have a beautiful month because today is the first day in February. Apart from those people in Australia who are already in Monday, February 2nd, every other person is still in this day, Friday, I mean, Sunday, February 1, 2026. Thank you guys, and I wish you guys we have the best of the week and the best of the month. See you next time. Thank you, Hayoke, once again.
Bye.
My regards to
Thank
your
you, man.
family,
Thank you
and have a
too.
pleasant night rest. All right, bye.
Yes, dear. Yeah, bye.